Hello, I'm jumping on here because I thought I may as well keep it nice and raw and real with everybody. I think I've mentioned before, I am currently working with a business mentor, Chloe Bromwich, amazing girl, hype queen #1. And we kind of just dived into a little bit of my personal over my business and how my personal affects my business and my reality of life and whatnot. And I had to sit down and literally take a minute and actually listen to myself and realize, okay, I'm pushing something away and there's obviously a reason for it and I need to figure out what the reason is to move forward. So Chloe gave me the push to move forward, and I did a similar thing like this where I showed emotion and unlocked past and fear and stuff like that on my Instagram a couple months ago, quite a long time ago, when I went to a retreat. And everybody really liked that and everyone really appreciated me being raw and real. And I haven't done that in a while because I genuinely haven't given myself the time of day to explore that side of me again, because it is it's overwhelming, it's quite upsetting, it's quite triggering, but then obviously it goes to something amazing, but you have to go through the upset, the trigger and the anger first. So today I did give myself some time to do that. I'm gonna be honest, I only gave myself 15 minutes to write this up. As in, that's just how long it took me. But I now know that after I do a little bit of work, I'm going to sit down and write down really, a lot of things. I would love to let you girls in on this little journey, so that you can understand that self-development is constant and it doesn't end, and no one is ever perfect, and there's always stuff that someone can work on. It just depends where and if you're actually capable of wanting to do it. So thank you for the push, Chloe. I'm going to read this out. I haven't read this out yet. I've read it out to myself and I've pulled my eyes out. So look, I'm already going red. I'm praying, I don't cry, but at the same time I do. I'm already going red thinking about reading it out. Okay, I'm gonna get into it. It's super short, but I thought I would just give an explanation on what I'm reading and why I'm reading it. Yeah, so again, this is just my personal, a little bit of, an episode of self-development. And I hope it activates you or triggers you to do something similar, or if it does activate you or trigger you in any way, my DMs are always open, and I would love to have a chat with you. So yeah, feel free to always message me as well. Anyhow, I'm super nervous because I know I'm gonna cry, but I'm gonna read it out anyways. If I don't even post this, I probably won't. At least I have it for myself, and then I've read it out to a camera. So it's kind of speaking to someone, but not speaking to someone, so. Oh, I'm already crying. Okay, I'm gonna read it out. So the question was, what actually makes you upset about being alone or leaving or being left? This is ridiculous. The word itself, alone, truly triggers me. The minute I acknowledge the idea of being alone, I want to cry. And to be honest, I'm tearing up as I write this. And as I read this, I'm tearing up as well. Growing up, I was beyond lucky to never lose anyone I loved. In the sense of death, I've never experienced it. But I think in return, the world knew I needed to be challenged in order to grow. So from a young age, I learned about heartbreak, exclusion, and fear of abandonment. Oh, that word is so harsh. I'm the middle child of an older sister who was truly always ahead of me, point of fact. In primary school, I was never picked first or second, always lucky last. And in high school, I was wanted by many boys, I'm going to be honest, besides the one I gave my heart, time, money, and body to. This boy broke my heart multiple times by choosing drugs and multiple girls over me throughout the 6 years. And I think that has hurt me the most because he was my everything and he chose to abandon me and our relationship. But even worse, the 2 girls he cheated on me with were both best friends of mine, leaving me betrayed and abandoned by not 1 but 2 people I relied on to be okay, supported and loved by. And regardless of the heartbreak, self-harm and endless days of anger and tears, I held on to him because that's all I knew. And famous last words of any coward of a man who consistently said with tears running down his face, "I'm sorry, I love you so much, I will never do this again." And by the end of it, I didn't believe him, truly, but I just couldn't figure out how to live my life without the last part I had of being with him. But I don't think he is what creates my trigger around being alone. I think it's how I lost friends. This is so raw. I think it's how I lost friends who were for life in the snap of a finger. I never had the chance to reconnect or discuss or even see them once more after they decided to remove me from their lives. Oh my gosh. And I think that sparked a fear of being alone. Because I've experienced being abandoned and left alone by a boyfriend, a best friend, and a sister. I've experienced abandonment and I don't think I can live through another episode of it. My nose is running. So when I get put into a position when abandonment is possible, I become triggered and aware of the danger and the trauma floods in tears and distress. And now after sitting down, I know it's not because I miss him, this being my current partner. The question was about why I get upset when he leaves for work, for his trips. So that's what I'm referring to when I say him here. Now I know it's not because I miss him, it's because I'm attached to the emotions and trauma from being abandoned by those who I love without a goodbye or a reason. And it truly has nothing to do with him leaving for a work trip, and everything to do with the unknown, my self-growth that I haven't allowed myself to have, and the ability to comprehend saying goodbye without losing the person. So that was a small little, answer to the question that I got asked. I definitely have so much more to uncover. My dear. I have so much more to uncover and really to dive into, but I wanted to give myself just a little exposure to it before I really got lost in my words. So that was just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to give myself some time now to go a bit deeper into those aspects of trauma and past experiences to see what is really stopping me moving forward right now in my business, my personal life, my relationships with everybody else I love. And yeah, I hopefully will have more to talk to you guys about and share along with this little self-development journey, because it's not all up. Self-development isn't like you buy a $4,000 course and you become the best person ever. It literally is you have to go down before you come up, and even when you come up, you got to go back down, then back up. So it's going to be a whirlwind of some self-development, reflection and growth, but you have to go down, you have to come up, and I'm finally letting myself go down, and I think it's really important so that I can actually start climbing back up. So that was a little intro into I think it's going to be an episode. I think I'm going to make this an episode because I think this is really important, and I remember everyone loving my last one of this, but I just never did it again because it was too raw for me. So yeah, into the raw and real Jade and trauma and tears and everything we're here for to become a fucking queen and just live my absolute best life with nothing holding me back. I wanted to show you a realistic journaling, self-development little episode. So I'm just sitting here, I've just spoken to my mentor about what I just videoed. I sent her the exact same thing, I just read it out to her as well. And now I'm just going a little bit deeper because whilst I'm in this such raw experience at the moment, the best thing I can do is take advantage of it. So there's no point in me trying to work through this, trying to shut it down and just go on a day, go for a walk and let it go. I need to actually sit down, sit in it, lean into it and figure out what the fuck is wrong? Why am I so triggered? And how can I overcome this trigger? So instead of getting up and going for a walk, which is what I normally would do when I get upset, and I just close it off and let it move on, I'm going to sit down. Sorry, my nose is running. It's so blocked up right now. I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to write out exactly what I am thinking from what I just read out before. I'm just going to pretty much dive into it deeper, which is going to hurt like a bitch, but perks of self-development. It's not all rainbows and new shoes and whatnot. So I thought I would just record it. I'm not going to talk through it. I don't want to talk through it, but I just thought I would show you like a realistic self-development aspect that isn't sunshine and rainbows, but will lead to sunshine and rainbows. So I'm just sitting here, paper, pen, and like reminiscing on what I went through and writing it down and like acknowledging, holy fuck. Yeah, that's what I went through and that's what I felt, and now I need to figure out how to get over it and move on and overcome it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and that's why you're just about to see this little clip of me in real time, sitting down writing. So here we go. I feel like stage fright, but anyways. So now I'm going to read out what I just wrote. This is purely just for me because it makes it so much more there. It makes it so much more real. You can write it down and read it. Like I can write it down and read it in my head, but it's nowhere near the same as when I say it out loud. So I'm just going to go little bit by bit, read it out and see what more I can uncover about myself. Why I'm scared of the idea of being alone? Because I don't acknowledge that I can be alone without being abandoned. The only experience I have of being alone is because I've been left. It's not by choice, it never was. It was an experience that I was given and forced upon. Whether I wanted it or not, or I was ready for it or not. And I think now, the reason I choose to be so independent and alone is because I believe if I make the choice myself, I can't be hurt or experience anything like I did in the past when I was forced. And I think that's why my boyfriend leaving for a work trip truly triggers me, because I'm not choosing and controlling that and and I think that's why my boyfriend leaving for a work trip truly triggers me, because I'm not choosing and controlling that he's leaving. And now I'm back to feeling vulnerable and as if I'll be forced into a further state of being alone without choice or reason. So hard, because that is such a good like acknowledgement already for myself, but I know that I'm shying away from something because it's going to break me into tears, and I just need to just feel safe in being able to acknowledge it. But at the moment it is not readily available. I'm definitely hiding it from myself because I'm scared, and that's so okay, but I know it's there. I know if I keep digging as if I had a fucking shovel in sand, I will find it, and I need to find it, and I want to find it. So I'm going to find this bitch. So I'm going to read back down that friendship aspect because that's what really triggers me. So I'm going to see if that sparks the idea. This is exhausting. So, congratulations, me. I haven't figured it out. That's fine. I have definitely dived into it, but I did just kind of say something to myself I've never said before. Because I've just never comprehended this being something I believe, but it is. And I just feel like a weight. I just feel like 10 kilos fucking lighter. This is so nice. My last words were, I don't believe I can support myself. I don't believe that I wholeheartedly am going to be successful if I'm alone. I'm not comfortable in my own company. The noise I make, the decisions I decide, I'm not comfortable in my own company. That is fucking huge. Oh my God, that is so big. Because if anyone knows me, I'm an introvert to myself. I'm independent. I do everything by myself. I barely go out. I don't hang out with anybody. I'm always in my own company. You know what? No. Oh my God. Oh. Because the reason that is so wow, I love dogs. I absolutely fucking love dogs, ridiculously amount. And I have two. And I love them to bits, but I will never, ever regret getting them, and I'll forever love them with my whole heart. But wow, because saying that, this is the truth of self-development. I look fucking crazy. I'm crying and I'm laughing. I am not comfortable in my own company. And instead of going out and trying to figure out why, going to therapy, talking about it with somebody and trying to figure out my fucking trauma, I've got a dog. Because right? Oh my God, my nose. Because I have always had a dog during my ex. When it got to the trauma part with my ex, I had my mum's dog that she's taken to foster. Her dog. His name's Steel. I've always had Steel, and everyone's like, oh my God, you bring that dog everywhere after I got so fucking traumatized. It's he's my best friend. I love him. He's so cute. And then when I moved out of home, my parents moved to foster, and I had to move out of home, which is where I live now with my boyfriend and my brother. I was like, oh my God, I can't not go without a dog. I need to walk in the house and have a dog greet me. No, bitch. You don't need a dog to greet you. You just didn't want to be alone, and I knew I was going to be alone. The time came. My boyfriend has fucking friends. He loves going out. And the only way to secure myself, instead of fixing myself and figuring out what the fuck is wrong with me, I went and bought a dog, because the dog can't leave me. Oh my God, that's so eye-opening. I love my dogs, don't get me wrong. There's one of them, but that was a huge eye-opener. That literally just happened in the span of 10 minutes. But I just figured out I'm not comfortable with my own company. And a super simple example of that is buying a fucking dog the minute I left home, because I could not go a day without someone else with me. Whether it was fucking human or a dog, because I knew the human would leave, the dog can't leave. Wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna sit on this for a bit, because that, as you can tell, I'm fucking gobsmacked. This is never a conclusion I thought I'd come to, because I'm so independent. I think I just say that. This is a show, and I've just broken down a wall of myself. Like I said, I feel 10 kilos lighter, but at the same time now I feel 10 kilos heavier because I was crying. But wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, so that's cool. That's sick. I'm not comfortable in my own company. I need to say this over and over again. I'm gonna say this for the next freaking 24 hours, 70, all of them hours of the day, of the week. So I can get okay and comfortable with saying this out loud, and realizing that so many of the choices I've made in life are purely based on the fact that I'm not comfortable in my own company because of my trauma, and this is something I need to overcome without a safety net of a dog next to me or a person. But the dog is a prime example of where I've just uncovered. So yeah, that's fucking crazy for me. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go sit in this, and again, I don't know if this even helped you, but I do hope you enjoyed watching it. You enjoyed just seeing this raw side of me, my life, my business. This is all happening because I'm trying to do better in my business, but it's personal development, and that's what I think it always comes down to. If I can be a better person, I can do better online for my clients and whatnot, and create more money. But I clearly have a lot to do to be a better person. So let's fucking go, baby. Okay, I'm gonna log off before I start going insane. I'm gonna go sit in this and just evaluate my life. I hope you enjoyed, or this helped you in any circumstance at all, or it literally just like made you feel like you were with someone, or gave you some support in any aspect of area you needed in life. I love the support you guys and girls give me so much. And I seriously can't thank you enough for the amount of freedom and the self-development I'm able to do because of the support you girls give me. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry for all the sniffling and the wet nose. This has been rough. I love you all, and yeah, bye.